Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So, are you ready to talk turkey? I hope so. Stay tuned for some fun facts and a fun craft. So today I thought we would do a fun little craft, and I'm hoping this will be something that you can find. So I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. It is a 12 turkey kit, and it's a foam thing. It was $4.49 less 40%. So guys, this was a very economical purchase, much less expensive than buying foam and trying to, cut out the shapes. So what I plan to do with it is to actually make a little garland for, I think here, or maybe for my entryway, I'm not sure. And oh guys, oh boy, might as well say something. No, I'm not an IV drug user, y'all. I know I look like I'm super beat up, because I might be. I took a little tumble. Y'all know I fell on that live. Remember that? Yeah. And I tried to catch myself, of course, and kind of scraped up my hand. And yeah, I had the big goose egg, but I haven't really been wearing short sleeves because I feel like this is unattractive. And wouldn't you know, I have jury duty starting tomorrow, and it's supposed to be like mid-70s, and I'm sure it's going to be hot in the courtroom. But I think I'm going to wear long sleeves anyway because I don't want anybody thinking that I caused this on purpose, right? All right, so y'all, these have turned out so cute. What I can say about the kit is it's very well constructed. So it's a thin foam, as you see here. And then like the feathers, I got out my glue and my glue gun. Well, they're self-adhesive. So the only downside I can say is the parts. So I've done one here. Look at his little googly eyes. The parts that extend beyond are kind of sticky. So that would be a cat hair catcher for me. But I still think they are absolutely adorable. If you were going to use them, say like for place cards, you could put it down on a piece of scrap paper and trace around, scrapbooking paper. Trace around it, or scrap paper would work, even just printer paper, to make a plain back, so that the sticky wouldn't affect. But I don't think it's going to stay sticky all that long. So while I'm going to readjust the camera here, because I'm going to sit. Oh my word, y'all, my country terms sometimes get me. I want you to see what I'm doing, and we are going to talk about some fun facts for turkeys. I have debated, y'all, and I'm just being honest, about getting some turkeys. They would straight up just be pets. I don't know if I would eat a turkey egg. I don't know. I don't know what a turkey egg tastes like. I don't eat turkey. I don't care for turkey, y'all. And if I got a male and a female, then I could raise baby turkeys and sell them. But if I did that, people would probably want to eat them. And I don't know how I feel about that. So drop me a comment below. You think I should get turkeys? I thought about ducks, but I think ducks are a little bit messy. And I know I won't eat duck eggs. So now I've moved on to turkeys. So I was doing my research and I thought, why not? Let's talk turkey. All right, guys, let me adjust the camera. Stay tuned. All right, y'all. So these are super simple. You start with the base. The instructions say, decorate turkey foam base with foam pieces using picture on the front as a guide. So that's precisely what I did for my first one here. So now it's just rinse and repeat. So let's talk a little bit about turkeys because, I am certainly not an expert by any means on turkeys, and I learned a whole lot by doing my research. So, y'all, did you know that wild turkeys Now, this is not domesticated turkeys. Wild turkeys were hunted almost to extinction in the 1900s, and the population was estimated to be as low as 30,000 birds. So restoration programs were started across North America to increase the numbers. And I'm talking wild turkey now, not the drink, because I know there's a drink called wild turkey. No, I'm talking about the bird. It increased the population to 7 million and I'm talking wild turkey, not domesticated birds. And we're going to talk about the difference too. So there's actually, a lot of thought that the turkeys are just kind of like chickens, and they are way more than chickens. And according to the research I did, and I am a creationist, not an evolutionist. However, I do believe that species do change over time, to adapt to our circumstances. And it says there's been 45 million years of evolution that separate chickens from turkeys. My question was, do chickens and turkeys get along? And I couldn't find a concrete answer to that other than to just say, well, mine do, or no, mine don't. So I don't know the answer to that, y'all. Let's see, what else can I tell you here? There were 6 subspecies of wild turkeys that were native to North America. The Pilgrims hunted and ate eastern wild turkey, and that was also sometimes called a forest turkey. Isn't that a funny name for a turkey, a forest turkey? And there were about 5 million of those at the time of the Pilgrims. And the Pilgrims, yes, did start in the United States anyway, our tradition of eating turkeys. So, oops, lost a feather here. Oh, because I didn't pull off the thing. And for those of you wondering, poor Miss Fancy Ray, she's finally starting to grow her feathers back. But I feel just awful for that poor little girl because her behind is pretty bare. But she seems to be acting normally. She's just not laying. And I have read that when they are molting heavily, and she's the only heavy molter right now, I have read that they do not lay because it's such a stress on their body. So I have given her like a break. I'm not going to fuss at her for not laying. I'm just encouraging her and watching over her and making sure, of course, as I do every day for my chickens, making sure they have plenty of fresh water and food. All right, back to our turkeys. So male turkeys are actually called gobblers. And the reason they're called that, I'm sure you all know, gobble, 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 because of the noise they make. And why do they make that gobble, gobble noise? Well, it's to announce themselves to the females, who are called hens, and also to compete with other males for the ladies. Now, if I got turkeys, y'all, I would just have one boy and one girl. That would be it. Like, that would be enough, I think. So there would be no competition. And hopefully there would be not too much loud gobbling. But I guess that could be part of it, right? I'm just putting his little feetsies on. I will tell you one thing about this kit, stepping away from our story time here. I think these eyeballs actually do have like an adhesive on the back of them. I have picked and picked and picked, and I could not figure out quite how to get the backing off of it. And I didn't want to destroy because there isn't extras. So what I decided to use is a acid-free, dries clear, no wrinkle, non-toxic Paper Studio glue pen, which comes out like way too fast. And I will also tell you, if you decide to reinforce anything with glue, keep a wet cloth handy because it will wipe off of the foam pretty easily. And my turkey's looking a little cross-eyed, right? I like the eyes really, oops. Now you get off of there. So here's our second turkey. How cute is he? Pull off some glue strings here. All right, so back to the hens and the gobblers. Turkeys also can make sounds like a purr, a yelp, and a kiki, kiki. I'm thinking my neighbors are gonna like want to move out if I get anything else that makes noises, because sometimes the egg song can get a little loud from the chickens, but I don't have a rooster, so they should be thankful, I guess. So an adult gobbler, or male, weighs about 16 to 22 pounds. And my son was asking me the other day about turkey, and he said, how do you know if you're getting a male or a gobbler, or a hen, a female? And I was like, I don't know, Google it, because I didn't know. But I will tell you that a hen is only 8 to 12 pounds. So more than likely, if you purchase, and some of them will say hen. I know I have purchased them and they've said hen, even though I don't eat them. Yep, I've cooked plenty of turkey in my time. The smaller ones do seem to be, in my opinion, a tastier bird, although I just generally do not like the taste of turkey. Okay, back to turkey facts. A male turkey has a beard of modified feathers on his breast that are about 7 inches long. And this is the thing that kind of scares me, guys. They have spurs on their legs for fighting. And I'm like, yeah, about the first time that turkey spurred me, he'd be put up for adoption, right? And I don't know if that is only a wild turkey or if that is also domestic turkeys, and if you can somehow clip or decrease the risk of getting hurt by the spurs. I don't know the answer to that. So the hen, again, is 8 to 12 pounds, and she has no beard, of course not. And she also has no spurs. So I could get just a hen for turkey eggs, but I don't even know if I like them. So what is a person to do, right? So the turkey has what we always call the gobbler, the part that hangs down here, but they also have, and let me show you on my ceramic turkey. This is was done by NH in 1975. So it's a hobbyist piece. So they have a snood, so this part here, so it is above their beak that hangs down. And then this is their wattle, kind of like a chicken has or a rooster has, but this is called a snood. And the length of the snood is associated with male turkey health. And why, I don't know, but females actually prefer turkeys with longer snoods. They're the most attractive to a female turkey. Maybe because they realize they're healthier and they don't want to be, left without their turkey mate. I really don't know why. Also, this is fascinating to me. The snood, which if you look at a turkey, even these turkeys, if you look, this would actually be the snood because it's attached above the beak, and this one really doesn't have the gobbler. So it's always depicted as red. But did you know that they can change color? They can turn, they're normally red, but they can turn white or blue because how patriotic is that turkey, right? Depending on their mood. So I don't know if blue means they feel blue or they're angry or they're getting ready to fight. I couldn't find any information on what the color of the snood actually means. just that they were capable of changing. So how fascinating are these turkey facts, right? Now, guys, this one's going to kind of blow your mind because it did mine. How do you tell a male turkey from a female turkey? And you might think, well, you know, I kind of have obvious answers here. But actually, you can mostly tell the gender of a turkey by their droppings. And I'm like, wow, okay. Who knew that the boys and girls poop different? And I am going to use the word poop. I hope that doesn't offend anyone. So male turkeys have spiral poops, and female turkeys have poops in the shape of a J. See, I told you, little known facts about turkeys, right? Like, who knew? I certainly never knew that. Okay, turkey number 3 finished. Oops. Yeah, I will say, guys, the glue, I don't know if hot glue will melt the foam. That was my concern. I'm actually going to put these on some jute at the end of this little video here. And so I will be hot gluing them, or at least attempting to do that. The glue seems to me it's going to take a little bit to dry on the eyes because they're very movable, aroundable. But how cute is the gobbler? All right, y'all, I confess, off camera, I completed everything but the last 2 because, you know, I was running out of turkey facts, right? So we were talking about the wattle, I'm sorry, the snood, not the wattle, the snood, being capable of changing colors, and how we determine the gender of the turkey as well. Wild turkeys, now not domesticated turkeys, but wild turkeys, this fascinated me, can run up to 25 miles an hour, and they can fly as fast as 55 miles an hour. So quite frankly, my first thought was, this chubby-aged middle woman can't run 25 miles an hour. I couldn't catch a turkey if it got loose. But domestic turkeys can't fly. So domesticated turkeys cannot fly. So that is only for wild turkeys. Also, I was curious as to their egg-laying habits. So a hen, much like a chicken, lays 1 egg a day. If she is wanting to have little turkeys, and I have seen pictures on, you know, different YouTube channels I follow. They are so stinking ugly cute because they hardly have any feathers and their neck looks really skinny. But at any rate, she will wait until she has laid in her nest and, you know, sitting on them, 10 to 12 eggs, which can take up to 2 weeks, it says. And then she will sit on those for 28 days. Now, a chicken, that's broody, because I've never hatched chicks, they will take 21 days. So they're a little bit longer than a chicken. So then I got thinking about, I wonder how much turkey Americans eat. And I know a lot of you are not from the U.S., and I would love for you to drop me a comment below. I know the U.S. Thanksgiving Day is a U.S. holiday, but you also, in other countries, have a thankful day as well. So do you eat turkey? Is it for Christmas? Is it for a certain holiday? Here in the U.S., of course, turkeys are most commonly eaten at Thanksgiving, followed by Christmas, and this really shocked me, Easter. I am not aware of anyone in my family who ever ate turkey at Easter. And we always had a ham at Christmas, so not ham or steak, I don't know. I'm not as familiar with that custom, but I'm curious. So, in the U.S., on Thanksgiving, guess how many turkeys are eaten? Ooh, this is really makes me feel like we are gluttonous in the U.S. So we eat 46 million turkeys on Thanksgiving Day, and it's estimated that about 88% of the households eat turkey. And you know, y'all, like I said, I've cooked many a turkey. I have cooked turkey on my channel. I have canned turkey. I have canned turkey broth. I have tried to like the turkey. It is just not my favorite. It's not that I absolutely abhor it and I can't stand to take a bite of it. It's just like my least favorite meat. I find the white meat to be flavorless, and this is just a me thing, and the dark meat to be gamey. So who knows, right? I don't know what my problem is, but I'm not a fan of turkey. So why? Of course, you know, inquiring minds, I always want to know why. So how did turkey ever come to be a tradition here in the U.S. on Thanksgiving? And I think y'all know. You know, many people believe that the Pilgrims were eating wild turkey. Depending on the website that you look at, you can find, no, they really weren't eating turkey, or yes, they were. You know, I don't know. But that is where the tradition is thought to have come from. And why turkey? Well, back in the days of the Pilgrims, wild turkeys were still plentiful. So, you know, of course, that would be a natural choice. And that tradition has just kind of stuck and continued. Now, I'm not going to horrify y'all with statistics about turkey farms and how turkeys are kept and what might be thought to be some inhumane conditions, because I don't want to turn anybody off of turkey, but I can say that turkey farming is big business here in the U.S. As is chicken farming. So I think the two are very similar. Many of the turkeys that are raised strictly for eating, let's just say they're not free-ranged. So, you know, if I get turkeys, I can say my turkeys would be living their best life, right? Because they would be able to free range, number one, and number two, I would not be eating them. So y'all, these are our last 2 of the 12 turkeys, and I have found that putting the glue down first and then setting the eyeballs on might be a little easier. It is for me anyway. And the stickiness of the feathers is a bit of a problem. I don't know how long that stickiness will be retained. I'm not going to put a backing on it because I'm not that worried about it. Based on the use that I have for it, I would say if you're going to use them as like table place cards or whatever, you may want to cover up the back of them. You would think that they would have only put the sticky on the parts that needed to be sticky. But what do you expect for like $3? Okay, guys, I'm going to let these dry for a little bit. That concludes... Oh, wait, I do have one more thing to tell you about turkeys. So did you know that Benjamin Franklin was a huge supporter of turkeys? And he thought it should be our national bird. And he thought it was much more dignified than the bald eagle. I thought that was a fun fact. All right, guys, I'm going to let these dry for a little bit. Then I am going to just hot glue them to some jute. And this big ball of jute was my daddy's. God rest his soul. So he would be pleased to know that I am using it. I found it in the barn when I was doing some estate clean out. So what I'm going to do is let these dry, and I will bring you back and we will get this assembled and decide where to put it. All right, guys, stay tuned. All right, I decided to use the stickiness to my advantage. So what I did was overlap the last tail feather, if you will, of the turkeys. So that kind of has linked them all together to hold them stable. I have my Gorilla Glue gun heating up. What I did was I just cut what I thought I needed, piece of twine. I made loops on the end. They're not even. I did that so it just makes it easier to hang it by the loop. So I would just find your middle and again use that sticky to your advantage. And what I'm going to do just kind of place it. Boy, that is sticky. Like this, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to hot glue. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I think you can. And you will notice I only have 6 of the turkeys because this ended up being a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I actually am going to have enough to make 2, which is kind of cool. And then I'm just going in with way too much hot glue. And I'm going to hot glue that jute right to our turkeys. Like this, super simple. It's sticking to everything but the turkey, or the twine, I mean. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like the hot glue is going to disturb that foam at all. Ouch. And you should probably use finger protectors. So let me get this finished gluing. I'm gonna hang it up, and then I will give you some final thoughts. And gobble gobble. All right, y'all, our turkey garland, isn't it cute? And I used the sticky to my advantage to get it to lay flat. I actually used 7 of the turkeys. Many times an odd number will look the best in an arrangement or on a garland. So that left me with 5 that I can turn into place cards to gift to friends and family simply by attaching some scrapbooking paper and writing their name on it. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you would do me a big favor, go ahead and smash that like button. And don't forget, leave me that comment below. Should I get turkeys? And are you one of the 88% of Americans who plan to have turkey on Thanksgiving? I will see you all next week, but until then, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.